Thank you to EA for early access to The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature. And as a quick disclaimer, the software is still not final in this video. This is the earlier build that I had started this build in, and then I later finish it when it is in my actual game. And if you've watched any of my other early access videos, I did mention that I'd started a build that uses the live edit objects, but I wasn't really liking it, and I almost deleted it and I was like, you know what, let me just try and make it something that I like and I would be happy to share because I did want to show this build. I wanted to show some of the items and what you could possibly do with this tree stump, which is in the live edit catalog. So this video is mostly to show off some of the debug items that you can find by putting in some of the cheats. They are like testing cheats enabled true, and then you have to do bb.show hidden objects and then bb.show live edit objects, which I did wrong when I was first having early access. And so I just didn't know that this was a possibility until I'd seen some other people posting with the debug stuff. And I was like, okay, apparently I just don't know the cheats correctly because I am a better build by user. And so every time that a pack comes out, I always just wait until the mods get updated to build. So then I don't really have to worry about like trying to find things and just having the organization that really makes it easier to build for me. But I've been doing better about not relying on mods as much, especially being part of the program and having early access more often and like being a lot builder for this pack. I learned a lot, and so I don't always need mods to build now, and I just forgot how to find the live edit stuff in the catalog because you also have to search debug into the search menu, and I've been struggling to find them sometimes. Like, I noticed that I had to like click a very specific debug in the list for the Enchanted by Nature stuff to appear because when I had moved this over into my actual game with like all my packs and stuff, I couldn't find any of the items. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? And it was because I like clicked the wrong debug choice. Also, when I went back in to type in the cheats, I said testing cheats wrong. So if you're basing it off of what I was saying out loud, it's just testing cheats on, which is a cheat that I always use, but it's like muscle memory, that type of thing. I just like type and I don't even think about it. Kind of like when I'm using Toolmod and stuff, I don't even remember the keys that I actually press to do it. It just kind of happens when I am using it. But you could see that I built the foundation into this stump and it is functional. I did play test it. I have a ladder that goes up into, and I was kind of hoping that the Sims could walk right through this because a lot of live edit objects don't actually have like a grid point. So your Sims can just walk right through these items. And I was like, I feel like this should work. And it did work. Your Sim just walks right through. If they're a fairy, you can pretend like they shrink down and they go through, and that's how they get into the base of the tree, which ends up being the kitchen. You'll see in this video that I messed up the ladder placement and I have stuff in the way, and I did change it. It wasn't like it didn't really change the look of it much. I just had to get rid of one of the cabinets in the kitchen or one of the counters in the kitchen so that I could actually move the ladder so the Sims could actually use it because I completely messed up and it wasn't functional at first. And I do cut out a little bit of the parts that I really didn't like in my build, which when I returned back to it, I just ended up deleting like not everything I did, but a good chunk of a piece of the build because I really wasn't liking it. That's another thing that I feel like being a lot builder for a Sims pack really helped me conquer my fear of just deleting parts of my build instead of just scrapping it completely. And so this I was like, you know what? I can salvage this build. I can make it something that I like to look at because like right now I don't think it's like the best build. It was definitely something just different that I was trying to do with this new item to see what is possible for it. And then it slowly started to expand into different levels in the foundation, kind of making like a large tree house. sort of thing where the outside is the living space. So like nothing is really closed off in this, which I've never really done before. Like there's a gazebo that is the bedroom, and then you go up a set of stairs to another sort of gazebo area, and that is a little living room, and then upstairs is an open bathroom, and then there's a balcony that leads over to this one. But before that, it was looking a little bit strange, which you'll see after, and I won't even keep talking about it until after. But I really love the new mushrooms in the live edit stuff. It would have been cool if this was just in the game, like you would just go into build by and you would be able to use these, but they are in the live edit section if you do want to use them. You just have to enter some cheats for them, and they're really beautiful, and I can like size them up or size them down depending on where I want them in my build. I have another build that will be up maybe tomorrow. It's a very short video. That's why I figure I might as well just post it this week. It is like a zero simoleon rags to riches lot, and I use a lot of those mushrooms, but I use them in the green color. I was trying not to use green in this because I always gravitate towards green. I love green. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna use this color. It's not really a red, it's like a deep pink, I guess. It's a little red. I don't know, it's hard to tell. I feel like it's more on the darker pink side when I look at it. But then when I'm comparing it to that red bench, then it looks a little bit red. I think it's just a mixture of both. I don't need to get completely caught up on the color of the mushrooms. I'm happy they're in the game though, because I have been really just trying to use the pink Realm of Magic mushrooms all the time, but sometimes I don't want pink mushrooms. And I know that there's like the other mushroom stools from Cottage Living too, but these ones actually feel very whimsical, and I really like that. And now you can see the inside where it is the kitchen. You see that the ladder is messed up, and I have a cabinet next to it. The counter does get deleted. I put the apothecary table down here too because I think it looks nice with all of the kitchen stuff. So I've just been putting that in like my kitchens when I'm building with the pack. And I pull out the double bed, and once again, I'm like, I'm not gonna have space for a double bed, so I'm gonna make a area out here, which was a good idea. I like the idea of having the bed out here. It's like the connecting building in the middle that was throwing me off, that I like really didn't like, and I had to change around. But I like having a bed in a gazebo. Kind of reminds me of Paleo, which I used to play all the time. I haven't really played it in months, and I think I was struggling with space on my computer because when I tried to update it, when it got like a major update, it just kept failing the update. And I was like, I can't be bothered to sit here trying to get it to update again. So it's been a minute since I played Palia, but I really do love that game, and it just reminds me of that game, this area. And if you are a fan of that game, I did make a speed build a while ago of Tamala's house in The Sims 4, which I think would have looked really good with these assets, but I built it so long ago now. If you're interested, I could link it in my description if you want to watch it. We're also about to make a huge jump into what the build was that I didn't like, which you can see right now. And it's just like, I don't know what about it. I could not get myself to like this. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's like how square that build looks. Honestly, maybe I would have liked it if I had just connected them to each other like I end up doing. Maybe that was the issue. Because when I'm looking at it now, it actually doesn't seem as bad. I do end up removing the roof towards the right on the gazebo too, because I felt like that was a weird shape and I didn't really like it either. So I think I just end up having that be flat. But my first attempt at making this build look a little bit nicer was to add more landscape around, which definitely does help, adding some more pops of color around, putting some more pink in the landscape with flowers sized up, as well as some new pack debug or like live edit flowers, which are those like big round flowers that I feel like adds a really nice pop of color. I tried framing some stuff with these base game rocks, and I make some pathways as well. And I do like how the rocks look. I was just like, I never use these base game rocks until I worked on the pack and stuff. And it's like, I use these base game rocks, but not very often. But I've been really liking how they look and how they can frame some of the landscape. And now I'm mapping out the pathway so it leads from the bedroom area to that big mushroom, kind of pretend like you can go through that. It's kind of just an overgrown way towards the back of the builds. And then I'm layering some ivy pieces because I thought maybe the base of the build was also a little bit too bare and I should have some more plants climbing up it. And then I was like, maybe that's too much, but at this point, I don't care. And I'm like, no, it looks good. I don't need to second guess every little choice that I make for this. And yeah, you can see I already removed the roof to the right, and I was already feeling a bit like happier with it because that roof shape was just a bit weird. And maybe this roof shape in this middle building is also kind of strange and it's very pointy, but I kind of liked it. I don't think that was the part that I really didn't like about it. I think maybe it was just all of that like square balcony space to the right of it with like the height being all on the left side and then the other building is so tall on the left that it felt very just like leaning towards the left of the lot, everything. So now I'm just trying to salvage it. And I'm like, maybe I could just keep the square gazebo here and add some plants to it. And it doesn't work out. And I do end up just deleting it. And I feel like my main problem with it was that it also wasn't connected to the build to the left and it was like way too separate. And I feel like it makes a whole like more cohesive when you can lead naturally from one room to another. So like each of these points will end up connecting through different balconies. I'm just happy to be able to show some of the live edit objects because I really think that people will be able to make some really unique builds with some of this stuff because it's like very different from a lot of what we have in the live edit catalog. And I do love the trees that come in the catalog as well. So there's not really like any new landscape items when you look and build by without sheets, which I can understand is a little bit like upsetting when you're getting a nature pack and there's no new plants in the landscape section. It like really throws you off. And then there's like so much hidden in the cheats that are just like really incredible and stuff that I think will make some really cool builds. Like there's just giant tree branches that are like they're floating, but you could size them down and add them to like anything else. Maybe even you could just make a house, a tree itself, and just have a random branch on the side of it or something. Another thing I realized with the lack of plants in the outdoor landscaping section in this is that there are so many of these sorts of ivy pieces, but they're just like linked into the indoor plant section instead of the outside. So that also makes it feel kind of unbalanced. Like you would think, oh, there's like not any plants in the pack, but then they're in different areas of it. And personally, I'm okay with a lot of plants being in the debug section because it just means that we're able to have more stuff in the game and I'll never complain about more stuff in the game. And now I talked over me changing the build to what it ends up looking like. And I do like this better than what I had before. And I think like the squares, it was part of the problem because the build on the left is like very boxy, and then the build in the middle was very boxy, and then the build on the right had like a very strange round roof, and it all just felt all over the place. So I'm really liking how it looks now, and it is functional, this bridge. I had to play test it a few times, and then it wasn't functional, and I thought it was maybe the new potted plant that I just put up there, but it wasn't. It was a firefly thing that I put down, which I didn't even know was possible to block a Sim's path, but it was blocking it when it was up there. And now you're gonna finally see my name bouncing around off the screen, and you won't see it again in any of my other videos, except maybe one day if I ever get the like special early access again. That would be amazing to be able to do this with another expansion pack. But now this is in my actual game with all of my other saves. I'm able to upload to the gallery and stuff now, and I've uploaded everything to the gallery. This will be up as well, but as I'm recording this, it is not up yet because I think I wanted to just make sure that everything was working. I want to double check the kitchen because I feel like I checked the kitchen, but now I'm second guessing myself. So I just want to look over it again. And now I'm just adding some more items around. I feel like that treehouse area, the second floor and the top floor, is kind of empty, doesn't have much going on. It has like a fireplace, and I'm now realizing I don't think that there's a chimney in this, and there is a really nice metal sort of like chimney that the smoke comes out of that's like all crooked and stuff that came in the pack. If I can fit that somewhere on here, I would love to do that because there are two fireplaces, and I love the way that smoke looks in this game when it's coming out of a chimney. And now I'm doing the bathroom, which isn't closed off at all, so none of this is really closed whatsoever. It is all open to nature because I was like, I haven't really built something that is all outside yet, and so I wanted to give it a go. I think there is one part that's completely closed off, and it's the tower on the left part of the build, and there's nothing in it except for a candle and a ladder, and that's it. So the only closed off part isn't even, it's not has any purpose at all. It's just a place to go upstairs to the top balcony, which has a little barbecue, and I put one of the new tables and a couple of the new chairs up there so Sims can go up there and eat, which good thing I remembered to put one in because I don't think there's any other actual table for Sims to eat at. And I was able to use some of the new like pre-order items. I really didn't get a close look at most of them, but I really do like the little lantern. I need to actually look at the other two items in game because I haven't actually looked at either of them yet. And I forgot that they're not like pre-order, they're like the early buy reward incentive that they give you because you don't have to pre-order it. And then when I said that, I realized I was like, oh, that's incorrect. So I should probably correct myself so people don't think the only way to get it is by pre-ordering. And I put some of the floating mushroom lights on like underneath the little pathway up there because I thought it would be really cute to have those just floating around. I'm going to be using that item all the time. And if I had better build by installed, I would have probably went in and changed the light color of some of this stuff, but it's so much more tedious to do without Better Build By, because Better Build By, you just like shift click on any light and you could change the color of the light and the intensity of the light, but in like without that you have to go into like live mode and actually manually click the lights with a sim. And I actually had a sim living on this lot because I didn't actually move the family out who lives here. It would have been a quick thing, but I wasn't actually thinking. And right now, I'm not even in that mode. I was just in the manage world section of it. And I placed some more of them around. I really love these lights so much. And I like that I didn't have to change the color to at least have the mushrooms be red, because that is a different swatch. And I really like putting these like tree stump mushroom lights. I like putting those in the water and pretend like they're floating. And I'm pretty sure the lights and just putting some rugs is the last bits that I do with the build, but I'm pretty sure I'm uploading this on release day. So if you're watching this as soon as I upload, the pack's gonna be out like fairly soon. Probably like, yeah, not too long, an hour maybe. So it's really exciting. And if you do plan on buying the pack, It would mean a lot to me if you considered using my creator code CrackedKyber on checkout in the EA app. It's not a discount code, but I do receive a small commission. And soon I'll have some more builds up that aren't pack limited and we'll be able to showcase the items with some other occults, mostly spellcasters. So I'm really excited to be able to do that. I might do some pack limited builds, like maybe like 5 packs with this pack. So like Realm of Magic and the Crystal Creations are two of them that I want to put together with this, but that's all stuff that will be coming up in the next month. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.